Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. It's Friday, and I am getting ready to go to Kroger and Tractor Supply. I'll film my Kroger in-store shop. It's going to be like really mild, I think. It depends on what we find on reduced. I have a very small couponing list. I have a very small weekly digital list. It's going to be mostly fruits and vegetables, some frozen foods, and then whatever we can find on reduced. I still have some really good coupons for ground beef, but we'll see how that goes. We'll look. We'll see what's going on. Um, it's just always so busy at Kroger. It's such a bigger store, and Wednesday mornings are so sweet at JC. I mean, all of everybody that works there. I mean, I stop and talk with everybody at every department. The cashiers are always so pleasant at JC, and that's my preferred store. The only reason I go to Kroger is because I can do my Friday fuel points, and they normally have things on sale that JC doesn't. And I normally have to go to Tractor Supply on Fridays. There's always something I need. So I'm really excited about that. Maybe I'll show you my tractors. Maybe I'll do a separate Tractor Supply in-store shop and show you how rewards really, really work. So, are you ready? I'm not. I've already gotten Solomon run. He's already had breakfast. Lily has already had her medications. Um, all the birds that are able to run are run. I've checked on the guinea pigs. So, yesterday and the day before, I've been working on the brooder barn. I've got 2 exercise pens set up in there. However, I have the guinea pigs in there. So I need to set up their little things. I'm having a problem with space in that little building. And it's either I take my table out, which I hate, or I take my shelf out, which I need. I want to keep them both in there, but there just is no room for them when I have the exercise pens, because I love to give my birds enough room. They stay in those little plastic brooders for a very long time. And then once I can get them into an exercise pen and they can't go through the railings, I want them out of there. I want them to live fun. I put like a little perch in there so they can fly, they can have fun. We put little toys in there for them to light on, play with. So I'm real excited to get these birds out there. I may keep Easter behind. Yesterday, Easter sat on my shoulder the whole time I did dishes. She talked to me in my ear, and every time I walk in, she looks at me like, please get me out of here. So today I might take her for a little while. There's one little rooster in there, and he's a little turd bucket. I might keep him behind as well. I would like to keep everybody behind and really work with this group as far as being promotions for our farm and for the Blue Egg Project. So definitely Easter will be, because she's just adorable and she's already got that. The little gray bird, are gray birds more susceptible to diseases and things? Because it seems that way here from my experience, that the sapphire gems got sick really bad. Darcy came out of it. Her sister, she got sick and she just went downhill real quick. Ruth has been sick. Ruth is an Easter egger. She's an olive egger, but she's gray. And so she's got probably sapphire gem in her. I don't really know. Um, and then what was it? Pigeon last year. I had a hard time getting her to live. Well, now our little gray bird that's in the 9 kind of acts sluggish. What is it with gray birds? Darcy looks like death warmed over, literally. I can't keep weight on her. She's just sick. Hi, Chipmunk. Chipmunk just walked out here. That's my fuzzy face Welsumer cross. Anyway, bird, chipmunk. Got a lot going on. So I've been working on that that brooder barn, and I just don't know what to do with it. I also went and got plants yesterday. I got 4 golden tomatoes, 4 red tomatoes. I can't remember what that type was. They're out of Florida. These people come up from Florida and sell in our town. And then I went to our local family and I got jalapenos. I did get some cucumber starts. I know that sounds really stupid, but they looked so awesome that I went ahead and got a little cell pack of those to start on my trellis, and then I'll plant more cucumbers. You know what I mean? So we're going to do like the plants, and then I'm going to plant seeds. So with the tomatoes, wherever I put them, I'm going to leave enough space to put another seed, a couple seeds in between, so that way we'll grow more. What else did I get? Oh, I got some more sage to replace my sage. I still have bundles that I have made from my sage plant that I lost. Oh my gosh, this was the most incredible sage. I moved it from where it was and it died. It was my fault. The last harvest I got on it was a really good harvest, so I still have um, sage bundles for burning. I still have a lot of those stocked up. So I went ahead and I bought 2 different kinds of sages this time. I got the, what is it, the kitchen variety of sage, and then I got a larger leaf, more hardy kind of sage. So hopefully that works out. I don't know what else I got. Peppers, tomatoes, sage, cucumbers. I think that's it. But I will be going back and getting flowers to put into the garden spot. All of the containers are in the fenced in area now, and now it's time to start placing them where I want them. I was looking at a bunch of junk garden ideas and saw some really cool things. I don't think I'm going to get that inventive, but I do want to make it look nice because it is in the backyard and it has looked horrible for a long time. So I've got a lot of junk to put in there that will make it look really super cool. And once we get everything placed, then I can decide on how I want to decorate or make it look even more flamboyant. Okay, let's talk about it. Something that I have noticed with MAGA lately. MAGA supporters, I have one thing to say. How do you rationalize your hatred for Ukraine, your hatred for Zelensky, and being okay with Putin and Russia? How do you rationalize this? I mean, I'm really, I'm curious. Ukraine has its sovereignty since what, 1991 or 92? And you seem to be okay with Russia taking Ukraine. What about the Ukrainian people? They don't want to be Russian. They want to be Ukrainian. How do you say that's okay? You know, you have this, well, we need peace. We need peace. If Russia would quit attacking them, there would be peace. As simple as that. If Russia would quit attacking, there would be peace. I need to know, what is it about Ukraine that you all hate? What is it about Zelensky that you hate? Is it because the people want to be free from a dictator like Putin? I want to be free from a dictator like Trump. I don't understand how you can rationalize this. We are now an ally of Russia. We have been since Trump walked in. How do you rationalize that? You rationalize this crazy tax thing. You've rationalized this economic situation that we're in now that we were not in for the 4 years. This is a whole different ball game or card game. Who's holding the cards? That makes me so sick. That just makes me sick. What I'm saying is you can rationalize the economics. You rationalize the unconstitutional executive orders and behavior of this criminal king. But how do you rationalize being an ally to Putin, Russia, and being okay with Ukrainians losing their freedom, when all it would take to make peace in Russia for Putin to stop killing them, attacking them? Our criminal king, I guess the whole agenda of the MAGA movement and QAnon and all of that is to isolate us, but to put us in an ally position with other dictators and autocrats and just not the right people, not the right countries, not the right leaders. It's not right. And then we watch as they start installing all of this Project 2025. Oh, well, there's no such thing as Project 20. Yes, there is. Look at the executive orders. Get a list of all of the executive orders that Trump has put in, even the unconstitutional ones. That's Project 2025. Women, be aware. Be aware that you need to protect yourself from becoming a baby machine. They're going to do everything in the world to make it hard for women not to be carrying children. They want a baby boom. They want taxpayers, and they want soldiers, and they want more baby makers. Incentives to have babies. If you want to have babies, have babies. Have as many babies as you want. But there are people that don't want babies. And so the whole thing is that if they take away Head Start, then there's no preschool or daycare, and mothers will not be able to go back to work. They want women to stay home, be pregnant, barefoot, whatever. They want to take us back to before women had rights. They want to take us back to a time when it was the white Christian way. And then they wonder why people protest. Well, they're just paid actors. No, they're not. These are human beings that have had rights their whole lives, and they don't want them taken away. They don't want to be in a dictatorship. And you keep hearing about the majority, and Trump won by a majority. Very, very slim majority. You might want to look at the numbers. What is it, 1.8, 1.4, 1.5? Wasn't that big of a majority. And I believe there was some craziness. You all have the 2020 lie in your head as, oh, the election was stolen. Well, I can guarantee you there was a lot of funny stuff going on in this past election. And now they're trying to make it harder for women to vote. You have to have your social security or birth certificate. You have to have your birth certificate because your name is different. Excuse me. Some of us took our husband's names. So now I have to take my birth certificate to vote. Indiana is coming up with some really bad laws for women. They're making it harder for women to accuse their rapists in court. They're making it harder for women to vote. They don't want to teach consent to our children. There's a problem with that. Because if you don't have consent, you shouldn't be forcing yourself on a person. They're not going to teach it. So basically, these jerks can go around, rape these girls, and then they can't have an abortion. So here we go. They're going to have a hard time accusing and having their predators, their I, I can't take it. The war on women is real. And those that are in the white Christian nationalist kind of mindset, they're fine with it. They're fine with women living a Middle Eastern historical life, bowing to their husbands, walking behind their husbands. And if their husband decides that they're being bad, are they going to go back to the old laws where they can beat their wives on the court steps as long as it's only a stick this big around? You're going to go back to that, where you're allowed to beat your wife? I am just not, I don't understand how any woman can allow this to happen to other women. It makes me sick. And if white women don't stand up, then that's where we have an issue. Do you know that there's more of us than them? If you have daughters, granddaughters, educate them, teach them. This time period is very, very scary for women, for minorities, for brown skinned people. People are being scooped up off the streets. American citizens being detained. People that speak out against the Trump regime or Trump himself, no due process. Women, you have the voice that needs to be heard. Choose a doctor that you know will keep your personal information from the Trump regime. If they force doctors to tell about your menstrual cycles, you need to quit going to the doctor. You need to keep that private. Because as this moves forward, well, just go read Project 2025. I mean, that's what I keep telling people. Take the time to read the over 900 pages. You might learn something about what our future is going to be if this is allowed to go through. If I also recommend going and seeing the movie Civil War. Order it, whatever, because that's going to give you an idea of how things will end up. The freedom of press is also something that really, really concerns me. I don't want to listen to Fox News lie. I don't want to listen to any of the mainstream media that doesn't tell the truth about what's going on. And Fox News definitely has only told the truth about the polls, showing that Trump is not doing well in polls. And you know what? He wants to fire them as well for saying it. Y'all are crazy that follow him. You are. You are. You're crazy. You're nuts. I mean, I'm crazy and nuts, but I also look at reality on reality's terms. I can't change my mind just to match what's going on. I can't do that. I can't allow, without speaking out, this horrible regime's agenda. I've got to get going. You all have a great day. Hugs from a distance. Keep your women and girls safe. Teach them, tell them, make them aware of how important the secrecy of their own personal health is. Y'all have a great day. Hugs from a distance. I got to get out on the road. Bye, y'all.